Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to Richmond. As you can see, the station area is almost devoid of trains, apart from the K3 sitting off the track there. We've had a spotted track laying done over the last few days. If I just move the camera around here, past my K1 with a short train on class 20, we have laid 3 tracks in the Maidfield yard. This one here isn't down yet, neither is this one. But those 3 and part of this one here are fixed down, so we've been able to populate those with trains, and also this kickback siding here fits my DMU quite nicely. However, we have to put a stop block there. It'll be a wooden block screwed to the end of the track rather than a scenic buffer stop. This track here will be hidden. The scenic break is going to be here, so there'll be a bridge or something there, and then this will be a steep cutting covering that up, and then from here it'll be scenic section all the way around. I'm going to extend the head shunt slightly, mainly because it's not long enough. As you can see, it can only fit a loco in one coach now, which isn't really enough, and we'll extend it a little bit and then go around here, continuing point for the goods yard. No goods yard is yet installed because we're missing the board at the moment, and we need to build another board just there, but everything else is in. Everything seems to work so far. There's a couple of dodgy bits. This bit here just needs a bit of fettling. That may do as well. That's absolutely fine though. And yeah, like I say, at the moment everything's good. So we're going to leave you with a bit of a running video. I'm starting with this K1 here. So if I put the camera back there and set up a bit better for you. Sorry, I got my finger. So there we go, and enjoy watching the trains. So the K1's just arriving with a short train, which is a portion from a southbound express that's been split at Darlington. And the main purpose of this running session is just to test the run round loop and stuff, just see how it all works. So what we're going to do now is just change the points. Everything's hand changed at the moment because I have no... Oops, that's a bit fast, sorry. Let's start that again, a bit slower this time. Still getting used to how the different locos behave, because I'm still quite new to DCC, so bear with me with loco speeds. Let's just stop that there, and then we can uncouple. With my little 3D printed uncoupling tool, which I bought off the internet for a couple of £. The plan is eventually, as you may already be aware, excuse me, that I'm changing to KDs eventually. Let's just draw K1 forwards. Yeah, so I'm changing to KDs. All of my locos, apart from the V2, have NEM pockets fitted. The DMU has a NEM pocket on one end, and we'll shortly have one on the other end as well. Just change those, and we'll also change the run round points up here out of shot. So having NEM pockets in all the locos makes it easy to change to KDs when I get round to it, when I can afford it. It won't be for a while. We've stopped, we've got a short, to apologise. That's me not paying attention, not changing the points. So the kits I've been building, the Inkert kits, I've been fitting them with NEM pockets. Some of them need adjusting because the pockets have been fitted too low, and the tension lock couplings don't match up, and the hooks are too low. So we'll get around to changing those at some point. I've got a Lima brake van which needs changing for either narrow tension locks or fitted with KDs. That'll happen at some point as well. And my Class 101 DMU, which is a Hornby DMU, like I say, has an M pocket one end but not the other. That'll be something that'll be fixed soon. Let's just remember to change these points back. Excuse me. And then we can, if I just move the camera around so you can see back into the train. And slowly bring the K1 in to couple up and push it back. I'm not sure if KDs can couple alright on curves. Tension locks seem to be okay. Just slow it right down. And that has coupled, not very well. Let's just get me a coupling stick. That's better. The hooks for cross purposes. So if we just flick back into the station, then we can see K1 will happily push this Grizzly stock back into station. These are all Ian Kirk coaches. I bought these as is. I haven't really done anything to alter them. I think the only thing I've done is change the ride height because we were sitting a little bit too high. So we are back in the station. So, next thing to do will be to run this back out into the fill yard, and then we'll bring the next train in. The plan is eventually, when we've got the layout all, with the track all down and everything working and tested fine, is to have some kind of operating sequence or timetable. So a lot of modelers do it, especially at shows, so they have a timetable or operating sequence that will take anything up to 2 or 3 hours to complete, with various trains and loco combinations coming into the station, run round moves, locos go for servicing, turning, water, etc. So we aim to do that here when we've got the loco shed and goods yard all built. And hopefully we can show you the results of that at some point. And this is what happens if you're not paying attention. I've just had a derailment in the fill yard because I didn't change the points properly. That's fixed now. So a little bit of the signal's at fault there. So now we're going to have another train arrive. So we just change these points. So at Richmond, everything would arrive into the platform. Even goods trains would arrive into the platform. And then would reverse out to be shunted into the goods yard after the locos run round. I'm going to do around it, keep paying attention. So like I say, everything would come into the station before being shunted and have the locos run round. we're still at the point where we're settling everything, so make sure it all runs all right. A couple of my locos onto the keyline curves. Something that will be sorted in time. This loco arriving now, as you'll see in just a moment, is the BR standard class 3. It is typical of the northeast area in the late 50s and early 60s, as it has been renumbered to a class that was local to the area. So there's a short parcels train with a insulated fish fan on the back. So what we'll do now is we'll shunt that back out. So gently does it. Being new to DC, so I always worry that when locos moving slowly, they're going to conk out or stop or stall like they would if we was still using DC. So I do tend to overcompensate by pushing the throttle up a little bit too much, because I'm still a bit wary about, like I say, about them stalling or stopping. We are fitting stay alive chips to most of them eventually. See what I mean about cupping heights? I mean, this is a Bachmann loco pushing a Bachmann Mark 1, and the cupping heights are different, completely different, which is absolutely bizarre. I pushed that a little bit too far because I wasn't paying attention. So if we just move the camera, and you can see, if I zoom in, focus. So Bachmann Mark 1 and a Bachmann Standard 3, and the cupping heights are completely different. They don't even match up at all, which is very, very peculiar. So when we run round, we don't use this crossover here that the loco is just passing over. That is that's part of the main one, which is not bi-directional. And there is a signal on the rear Richmond here that prevents or doesn't allow for any such move. So the loco has to draw down past what would be a ground signal here, just here, and then be signalled through the run round loop. So we'll just run this round. The plan is, when we've run round, is to put this train into platform number 2, or what you know as the passenger dock. So we'll just give it a bit more speed. Change those points back. Change the points around in the run round loop. Excuse me. I know this video can be quite boring. I'm actually quite enjoying making this video. I will make a running session video when I've got track properly in and done. So watch out for that at some point in the next few weeks. Track laying has stalled at the moment, unfortunately. As I don't have enough points. So I'm going to change this point just here, so I have my hand, and this point here, and we're going to shunt this train into platform 2, the passenger dock. So platform 2 would have been used to load and unload horse boxes, and I'd imagine cattle trucks as well. Although I'm not actually aware of the existence of an actual dedicated cattle dock at Richmond. Although I could be wrong, more research is required into that. If you do know of a cattle dock at Richmond, then please let me know. It'd be great to find out. So the thing is with the difference in couplings is in heights, is that it likes to ride up over the coupling and derail on a point. which is precisely what's happened with my my kit wagon, where the coupling heights are the same for most of the coaches I own. It's not the same on the Loco, which is just still one dirty track. So the plan is eventually, with the points, is to not rely on the point blades for transferring the electricity for continuity. So we're going to fit auto frogs to the frogs themselves, cut here on the more modern pico points and with the Dremel on the older ones, and install jumper wires between the two rails, the closure rails and the I think they're called stop rails. I forget now the terminology. Just to make them more reliable. As when I came to reinstate the layout after finishing the garage, I found that I had to clean all of the track quite vigorously and quite thoroughly to get it all to work. And the point blades were the worst because they were all absolutely filthy. My double slip isn't so bad because it's wired completely up and it's all into a frog, and all the different parts of the rails are connected properly, so that's not an issue. But I do try and keep the point bends of that clean as well. The other plan is eventually to fit stay alive capacitors to all of my Locos and the DMU, just so that they run a bit better. The only Loco fitted with the stay alive at the minute is the J72, which you'll see just there, which runs absolutely fantastically. The Stay Alive is a high power one from Ditty Trains, and it will run for about 2 meters without power if the power is interrupted. So, last Loco, or last train in this short video, I say short, this is a long video for me. Regular viewers may know that I tend to keep my videos to less than 10 minutes or around 10 minutes, and we're currently running at nearly 20 minutes. I do apologise for the longevity of the video, and I hope you're not all too bored with my waffle. So the last train to arrive, when I've changed the points here, is the Metro Camel Class 101 DMU. This is a Hornby DMU. The Hornby 101, I'm not sure if it's still made. It is DCC ready. It's fitted with a DCC Concepts Zen Black decoder. It's based on the Lima tooling with a new power unit, a new motor. It runs surprisingly smoothly. I may need to alter the settings for the speed steps. It's only at 28 speed steps at the minute. I think 128 may work better. The good thing about the Zen Black decoder from DCC Concepts, it has a quick setup feature. So you change one of the CVs to change the characteristics of the decoder. So this one's set to DMU, obviously, and you can also change to branch goods, mainline goods, heavy freight, express train, local stopping train, all the various light engine, all the various settings that you would need, which has proved handy because it does behave like a proper Class 101 now, obviously without the sound. That will be fitted with a Stay Alive as well because it's quite a finicky runner at the moment. And we may end up selling it and replacing it with a newer Bachmann Class 101 because it's a lot better detailed. However, as it still runs quite well at the minute, I'm reluctant to do so. So that's the little running session. Now the fiddle yard is a little bit emptier. I will take you around quickly and show you. We'll just go down to this end here. These two boards here, as I may have told you before, used to be a layout belonging to my friend. He is unusual. I believe it's Trains in the Garage, although I'm sure he will correct me after he's watched this video. He sold me these two boards, the joints just there, a while ago, and I've been itching to use them as the fiddle yard, as we put it on the garage. That is the old fiddle yard board, as you may remember from when the layout was in my old house. And there was a back seam along the back of this board. This is the only part left. I've left it in place because it makes a good stop and preventing locos falling off the end of the layout. This space here, we've got about just over a foot there. I'm debating adding a traverser there to run locos around trains so I don't have to physically pick them up. Although I may change my mind and use a Pico Loco lift instead. I'm still at the sort of planning, debating stage. Or I may just extend the layout by a foot anyway, just so I can put longer trains in there. It'll be a simple matter of building another foot-long board just to add on there. It will be OSB board, which isn't perfect, or I may order some plywood at some point. But that's for another time. Today we're going to show you the fiddle yard. Just move my finger out of the way of the lens. So we have 3 full-length tracks. They're not perfectly straight, I know, they don't need to be. We've got one that's that one there that's in the halfway down, and we've got the kickback siding there. All these points will be powered. On the scenic section, we've drilled out these 40mm holes and put paper between the point major and the point just to conceal them, as you can see just here. In the fiddle yard, don't really need to do that because it's not part of the scenic area, so we'll just leave the holes open. And it's good for adding power feeds and stuff. Everything's wired up to here, and we'll start wiring these up at some point in the next week or over the weekend. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Apologies if I've waffled on too much. Unlike some, I don't write out a script and then follow it. I just make it up as I go along. So in the next week or so, we are hoping, like I say, to finish the fiddle yard, get all these tracks wired up, and we're adding another kickback siding here, which will be for the branch line goods, which will go to about there. And so we've got the same amount of space as that, so it'll only be a few wagons long. This track here, this siding, which will be the oil siding, still needs to be wired up. Something I forgot to do when I was laying all the track on this side a week or two ago. And hopefully, when the points arrive and I get more track, I can start building the goods yard and loco shed and reinstall the turntable, which will be in this space here. So I probably won't be able to reach that far across. So, pardon me. Excuse me. So we'll have to have it removable so we can take all the wagons and buildings off, take it off if there's any problems down here, or I'll have a little cutout here so I can sort of reach over there. But that's it for now. Once again, if you do like what you see on my channel and my videos, please subscribe and tick the notification bell. We're at about 314 subscribers at the minute. Let's get the number up. I'd love to get to 500 or even 1,000 at some point. So I hope you like this video, and I'll see you soon.